And once again, Jannik Sinner wins the ATP Finals without dropping a set. And now he's done it in back-to-back years. And his indoor hardcourt dominance continues. He has now basically won every indoor hardcourt match that he's played. And therefore, Jannik has a 100% win rate on these indoor hardcourts. And he's had a very good run throughout this year. Of course, he won the Paris Masters, won in Vienna. And now he's won the ATP Finals, beating Carlos Alcaraz in the final, which was a very good final, I must add. Very close. Carlos gave Jannik his biggest challenge. It was 7-6, 7-5 win for Jannik. Of course, Alcaraz had a set point in that first set, which Jannik saved with a huge second serve, which caused Alcaraz, his grip wasn't correct. He was trying to drive the ball, but the ball came at him a little bit too quickly. The ball landed out. That was at 6-5 add for Alcaraz. Then in the tie break, Sinner went up a mini break. Alcaraz won the mini break back, had a chance to put a backhand volley quite deep. Sinner ended up winning the point, lobbing Alcaraz. Very good lob. Very good cat and mouse exchange, which Sinner came out on top. Won the tie break with some huge ground strokes, like really going for his shots. Loads of forehand winners. And in the second set, Sinner played a very poor game to kick off that second set. And he'd been broken for the first time all week. He hadn't even dropped serve until the final, which is crazy considering he'd played some very good indoor hardcourt players like Zverev, who's won the Turin Championships, so that Nito ATP Finals twice. He's beaten Novak in the final in 2018, beat Novak in the semi-finals in 2021, he beat Medvedev in that 2021 final. So he's a very, very good indoor hardcourt player. And Sinner didn't even drop serve to him. Did concede 7 break points, but those 7 break points were all saved with huge first serves. Nevertheless, he got broken in the beginning of that second set. He got a break back when Carlos did have opportunities to kind of take that second set out of Sinner's hands completely by going up a double break, or at least getting a break back, where Sinner's serve was looking a little bit shaky in that second set. He wasn't serving as well as he did in that first set. However, Sinner broke back at 3-all. And then when Alcaraz was serving to stay in the match at 6-5, Sinner played some very good returns off the Alcaraz serve and managed to draw the error in a very long rally on match point to win the ATP Finals for a second time. And this was just a very, very good performance all around from Jannik. He felt like that he needed this win after Alcaraz had beaten him so much over the last 2 years. Of course, he avenged that Roland Garros loss at Wimbledon, and I guess this time he avenges those hardcourt losses at the US Open. Partly Cincinnati, of course, we will never know how that match would have played out, but mainly the US Open where, Carlos really served him off the court. Jannik definitely took that and, really doubled down on his serve in the first set. Maybe the second set, a little bit of a mental lapse towards the beginning. However, the serving did improve slowly but surely as that set went on. And of course, you can have a blip in your level. We're all human at the end of the day. Jannik couldn't serve how he was serving that first set through the whole match. And nevertheless, he still managed to get through it when he wasn't playing his best game. And not only to mention the final, but he had some very, very solid performances throughout the week. Of course, he beat Felix, Ben, and Zverev in the round-robin stages. Played de Minaur in the semi-final. De Minaur, most people probably expected Sinner to play Fritz. However, de Minaur with a very, very clutch performance at the end of his round-robin to eliminate Fritz, send him to the semi-finals. And although it was a very close first set, and de Minaur was really going after most of his shots, Sinner ultimately was slightly too strong for him. And with Ben, Ben is one of these guys, he's almost able to challenge an Alcaraz, a Sinner. However, the serving combined with the return and those bang bang 1, 2, 3 shot points and rallies, he's just not up there with them. He doesn't have that elite return just to neutralize the first serve or even get the advantage on a second serve, where an Alcaraz and Sinner can do that much more consistently and regularly. That Ben just really needs to work on that. And the Felix match was very serve +1 dominant, point construction for most of that match. Nevertheless, Sinner really ran away with it in that second set. And once again, like we said last year, Sinner in hard court conditions, the toughest man in the world to beat. I guess we never would have known how Novak would have fared. Of course, last time these guys played in 2023, they played one very thrilling, entertaining match, and the other time was almost a blowout win. Double break in one set, 6-3 in the second for Novak. Of course, Sinner has beaten Novak now, 6 times in a row? Since that ATP Finals loss, including an indoor hardcourt match a week later at Davis Cup. But who can you really see stopping Sinner? I know Alcaraz was definitely motivated by this loss to try and improve, he said himself after the match. And these two playing on such a great final, them being so close, Alcaraz giving Sinner such a big challenge, because Sinner, even if he played one close set, the second set wouldn't even be close, or vice versa. Not a very close first set, tiebreak in the second set, like that Ben Shelton match. Alcaraz gave him a really, really good go. I'm glad to see Alcaraz's techniques they made in the off-season last year, 10, 11 months ago, are really paying dividends. They pay dividends at the US Open, and they're definitely paying dividends on indoor hardcourt, where he is now almost up there with Sinner. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and listening. Don't forget to subscribe. Take care and peace.